communications between parties. What's going on here?
So this is, I think, a structural change that is recognizing this was, I think, a dramatic change actually in how the document works and recognizing the change in the industry. Traditionally, for decades, it would be owner talks to the architect communicates the owner's wishes to the contractor. It's a straight line, and that's everything went through the architect. But what's happened is owners become more sophisticated, or they just want to get involved in the project more, whatever it is.
Well, also the technology's changed. People text to each other.
Yes.
It's easier to be more fluid in your contact.
Clearly. So now owners are talking to contractors left and right. And then at the end of the project, when something's gone south, the owner looks back to the architect and says, well, you should have caught that.
Yeah, why didn't you know that this was happening?
Yeah, and in fact, you could argue that the 07 and 97 versions actually obligated the contractor kind of to be in the know, even if they weren't part of that conversation. So what they've done here is, you can see in blue, it says the owner shall include the architect in all communications with the contractor. If the owner doesn't put the architect on that communication or doesn't loop them in on the text or follows up with that architect, then the architect's not responsible. And so it's an obligation, and there's similar language that falls into the A201 that the contractor has to keep everybody in the loop. This is recognizing owners are stepping out over their skis sometimes too much, and the architect shouldn't be carried along unless they're looped in on that.
And it's worth noting here, kind of like we were talking about before, that the contracts are very useful when all hell breaks loose and litigation or arbitration is going to happen or something. It kind of gives everybody a place to go back and see what they should have done and all of that. But this is also really the useful thing here is that it's saying, this is something you should understand. This is a conversation, like when we're signing this contract, what you're saying by signing this contract is, if I have private conversations not through the normal chain of command on the project, I'm taking a chance.
Yes, exactly.
And so it's an opportunity to have that discussion with the players that are at the table on these contracts.
Now, one thing that I want to show, and this is why I love the AAA documents. As I said, when they revise them every 10 years, they have these. It takes about 2 years. Speaking like the AREs, these committees meet for about 2 years. They meet every Wednesday. I'm on one of the lists, and I've gone to some of these meetings. And they have parties representing all owner, contractor, subcontractor. So this provision that we have underlined here, this was the architect saying, give this to me. I need you to protect me, owner, because you're not helping me out. The last sentence down here is the owner coming back in that same discussion saying, hey, wait a minute. What happens when your electrical engineer is talking to the contractor behind my back? Why is this not happening? And this is the owner saying, I need you to keep your subconsultants in check. Right. So this language wasn't in there before. And what it's now saying is, architect, your people need to funnel through you. If I'm going to give you this, but I'm going to hold you responsible for your people. So it's a give and take, and this shows exactly that more than one voice is in this document, which is great.
And that the mechanical engineer, when they want to talk to the GC, should be going through the architect, should be going through the thing. The subcontractors who want to talk to the architect should be going through the GC, through the thing. The owner, when they're talking to the GC, should also be including the architect. And it's sort of acknowledging the fact that people don't always do that, but that you're taking risk when you go away from that.
That's exactly right.